So, traveling with film is confusing. Do you really need your film hand checked when flying? What happens if your film actually goes through the x-ray? Do all airports hand check? All this and just general traveling anxiety was pumping through my brain the first handful of times I traveled with film, but it actually does not need to be that stressful. While I know it does seem really intimidating, we're gonna cover some things that you can do to really hedge your bet and get the best when traveling with film. Okay, first let me explain a couple things. Many airports have signs or verbiage on their websites explaining how any film under 800 ISO is totally fine with x-ray machines. No matter what ISO, there will be some fog, albeit probably small and in many cases a negligible amount, but it will accumulate on the film. However, the problem lies in the fact that the film is a delicate piece of cellulose, and all fogging, whether it be from age, heat, or in this case, unnecessary blasts of radiation. Do TSA machines actually emit radiation? Are they like x-ray machines at the doctor's office? I don't know, but I feel like I'm outing myself as a moron. Because of this, we obviously don't want to fog our film and want to minimize any factors that would do so, hence why we put film in a fridge when you're storing it long term. All right, now that we've laid some groundwork, let's talk about how we can take our beloved film to the cursed shadowlands of TSA. First, we want to make sure we separate our film into a separate baggie and throw that in our carry-on so that it's easily accessible to the TSA agents. You cannot throw it in your checked bag. Those are blasted by more machines and checked more thoroughly, so let's just avoid that in general. For me, I normally throw it in a gallon Ziploc bag, transparent, easily to store, and they're obviously familiar with those baggies. I've also seen some really dope do not x-ray film bags, and honestly, see myself snagging one of those in the future. A reusable bag like that seems like an aesthetically pleasing way to get the point across. In some places, it's up to the passenger's discretion to hand check or not, but in others, it's the TSA agent's call. So definitely make sure you read up on that before you go. If that is the case, maybe see if you can just purchase film at your destination or have some shipped from there. That being said, once you have your film in the baggie, the easiest way to go about it is to just be polite and ask for a hand check. Be kind and knowledgeable if they challenge or have any quarrel, stating that the film requires a hand check instead of being potentially exposed by their machines. Ideally, at this point, have your film in the transparent bag all ready for them to snag from you. I recommend you take them completely out of the packaging and canisters so it's very clearly just the film. Again, the more kind and convenient you are with them, the less likely they are to give you a hard time. Also, you want to make sure you finish up any rolls that were in your cameras, otherwise they're also going to have to hand check the camera, which I'm not even sure what the protocol is on that, considering it's a much more complicated piece of machinery than just a roll of film. So yes, finish up your rolls, throw them in your bag, or risk it, keep the film in your camera and try to get some cool airport shots. I don't know, I'm not your dad. If the airport is super busy, there's really no guarantee that you'll get your film hand checked, or it may take a while to get a free TSA agent to come swab it. So just keep that in mind and give yourself ample time if you're traveling during a busy time. Okay, now that you've finished up your trip and are ready to come home again, you can obviously employ these tips for safe hand checking and traveling, but what if the airport that you're traveling through doesn't hand check? Well, my suggestion would then to be either mail it back to the States, to the lab, or to your house so that you can process it yourself, or see if there's any local places where you are in your travels and maybe they can process it and email you the photos back. Otherwise, there's gotta be some lab in some relatively close proximity to you to be able to mail your stuff into. Now, what if you were too nervous to say anything, or you accidentally left film in a bag and it got scanned by TSA? Well, to be completely honest, you're probably fine. Like I said earlier, I think the amount of fog accumulated if it's a new roll would be negligible. For what it's worth, when I went to Europe in 2018, I didn't hand check any of my film and I had like 5 flights and it all turned out fine. So keep that in mind, but obviously play it on the safe side whenever you can. Another thing I would recommend if you're flying with multiple cameras, a lot of film, or driving is one of these bad boys. For me, I like to bring my Mamiya 7, the RB, a 35mm, light meter, and plenty of film. And if I'm doing like a photo road trip, having a dedicated safe place for all of that is super nice. For me, it's these off-brand Pelican cases from Harbor Freight. They only cost like $60 each, fully customizable so you can fit any camera in there, and it also fits on my 4Runner perfectly for road trips and whatnot. If you don't want to go that route or don't have that much gear, I would recommend one of these neoprene wraps for your camera so you can safely stow it in any bag or virtually anywhere. I'll link those down below as well. Additionally, having some sort of storage place for not only your new film, but also a separate place for your shot film. I know when I'm out road tripping, it's easy to finish up a roll, throw it in the cup holder, and then ultimately lose track of where it ends up. So having somewhere you can consolidate all of your film and know it's in a safe place is really important. Otherwise, that's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comments how you travel with film and your film cameras, as I'm sure you guys have plenty of good ideas that I have totally spaced on. As for me, the traveling cases have really been a lifesaver, both for my digital and analog stuff. Having just a single space for all all of the cameras, film, accessories, etc. Makes keeping track of and shooting multiple cameras a lot easier. Also, shout out the channel Sprocket Holes. He made a really in-depth look at actual results from multiple rolls that he took through the CT scanner at an airport. It's a pretty dope, thorough video that he definitely spent time and money on, so definitely check it out, as I think many of you will be interested. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Safe travels. Until the next time, stay safe, stay shooting. Adios.